Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. This is Ken the Revolutionary. I will start a little bit early today because there is an issue that bothers me, and I'm glad that a lot of people online, a lot of influencers, a lot of bloggers, vloggers are finally catching up or are bringing light to this very unfortunate story. I had this story. I made it. I mentioned this story a few days ago or last week, early last week, and it caught my attention once I had Nuru Okanga was speaking about it in Jacaranda. And this story involves the Mombasa governor Abdul Sherrif Nasir and his mom, who are suspected to be involved with the unfortunate events that that blogger in Mombasa went through. Okay. Hi, DJ Moda. Hi, Gypsy Corner. I'm glad to see you. As usual, the first order of business. If you've already subscribed, go ahead and like the video. And if this is your first time, please go ahead and subscribe, like, share, comment, and put your notification on so every time I come in, you can always get my live feed. And you can always join the chat too sometimes and studio. Okay. So this is the first session of the day, but I just wanted to concentrate this session to dedicate it to this story about this young man who was violated, sodomized, sexually assaulted, by men who are said to have been sent by Abdullswamad, the Mombasa governor. Okay. Now I saw in his tweet that his response was basically he never even spoke on the matter. He only said that there's some people who are trying to scuttle his ambitions, his political career for 2027, and he maintained that he will remain in the ballot paper in 2027 for the gubernatorial seat. Okay. Thank you, Gypsy. Thank you, Gypsy. I see you. Let's get started. And there are reports that this governor is tampering with the investigations. He has gone and, ameenda kafanya hiyo kitu to the police so they don't investigate him or ask him or question him or his mom about what happened. For those of you who are in the dark, let me just recap the story. There's a young man who came in and he has a video. I'll play you the video. I won't play the recording of what happened because I had this to November 28th. Okay. Because I had it this morning and that's what disturbed me. The actual video when the assault was happening, they recorded it. There's a video evidence of that. I'm not going to play it here because it is disturbing on so many levels. Yeah, it's just sad. We'll give you the link, DJ. Just give me a second. Let me just let me mention this first. I will bring you in. Bear with me, kidogo. So there's, like I say, there's a link. There's a video of the alleged, atrocity as it was happening when the young man, the blogger, was begging those people who are doing that to him to stop. And it's very heartbreaking to listen to. If you want to listen to it, you can just go to the Twitter or online. You can always find it. I'm not going to play it just for yes, it is. I won't by no means. But there is an interview of this young man speaking about the incident and why he thinks the governor was behind this. And I'll play that one. It's the interview, not the actual, the other case, the actual, when the actual crime was being committed. That one I will not play. But I want to start with that one so we can kind of get how this thing. And I'm glad a lot of people I saw Larry Madowo mentioned it in his Twitter page. Hanifa is also catching up with that. Cyprian Nyakundi also is highlighting that in Neo. Some guy called Edgar also on Twitter is also, there are people, it's trending around right now. The first trend is justice for Bruce. Yes, justice for Bruce. Because this is unacceptable. You cannot have people do this to another human beings. You can disagree with someone, and even if that someone is being disrespectful or whatever the case, take him to court. You're a governor, for Christ's sakes. Okay? So here's the video. Let me just start with this video. It's an interview after the alleged crime happened. Then we shall see the response by people, Kenyans, a lot of Kenyans, especially influencers and vloggers and activists who are coming out and speaking boldly, tweeting. It's catching fire. The story is catching fire, which is a good thing. Because we need to arrest this governor of Mombasa if he's indeed involved in this. And by every evidence that we hear, I mean, the guy say himself, he needs to be under the jail. Him along with his mom, because it is said that his mom also was involved in planning this thing. They need to go to jail. Let's start. Let me start with play the video. Then, yes, I'm glad they're talking about it on the X space. I am so glad. This needs to be handled. But here it is. Let's get to it. Here's the young man. Hold on.
Bruce amefanyaje?
It's in Swahili, so
ilikuwa mwendo wa saa 2 asubuhi, niko kwangu nimelala. Nikasikia mlango umepigwa teke. Wakiingia ndani walipiga teke ni vijana zaidi ya 10 ambao walikuwa ndani kwa varanda, na vijana wengine 10 walikuwa wako kwa bodaboda nje. So it was a total of 20 people. Wakaingia, majirani wakaanza kutoka hapo na kuuliza Bruce amefanyaje? Wakajifanya wao ni mapolisi, wamekuja kunichukua kwa amani, wananipeleka Tamarin, nikamuombe gavana wa Mombasa msamaha na nisubiri wataniregesha. Niliposikia hivyo nikasema then naona vita ya mimi, maana walipokuja wao kunipiga pale walionyesha njia ya peace. Kapanda pikipiki na kijana mmoja wao anaitwa Sele, ambapo huyo Sele anafanya kazi kwa Mombasani yangu. Na kuna mmoja nilimuona anaitwa Sindimba. Wote vijana wote wanafanya kazi Mombasani yangu. Wakanibeba kwa pikipiki tukaenda paka hapo Tamarin. Tukifika Tamarin vitu vikabadilika, nikaona siingizwi ndani, nikasimamishwa hapo kando. Kukaja gari Vitz ndogo, nikaingizwa ndani tayari kwa kuna vijana 2 nyuma, mmoja mbele na dereva. Mimi nikaekwa katikati hapo nyuma. Wakanioji paka Nyali Bridge. Kufika Nyali Bridge, mmoja nikaona anaeka mkono huku nyuma, akatoa gunia. Akani hiyo gunia iko hapo kwa kabati, gunia kubwa ya green. Wakanivalisha hiyo gunia, wakanifunga miguu, wakanifunga mikono na kuanza kuninyonga. Nikaambiwa weka kichwa chini ndo isilete tension kwa vioo in case kuna roadblock mahali. Tukaenda msafara mrefu, tukafika mahali wakanitoa nje, wakanitoa kwa gunia. Kitolewa kwa gunia, wale vijana 20 ambao walikuwa wamenibeba kwa bodaboda walikuwa tayari washafika huko. So walikuwa wanajua mahali napelekwa. Sema nafikiri walikuwa wana avoid watu kuniona juu ya pikipiki kuanzia bridge mpaka huko. Ndio ikabidi waneke kwa gari. Kutolewa, kijana mmoja akanikanyaga kichwa, shingo. Alikuwa amevaa safari boot. Walikuwa wamefunga mask. Mmoja akanikanyaga shingo, kichwa. Mwingine akanikanyaga mkono wa kulia, wa kushoto. Mwingine akanishika mguu huu na huu, nikafurukuta. Akaniambia wewe sio uko na mdomo, umekuwa ukikosoa sana mambo ya governor. Maana yake mimi ni mwanaharakati na ni blogger. Kama kuna basari zitolewi, tunaingia kwa mtandao, kwa TikTok, Facebook, tunalalamika mbona hizi basari zimechelewa. Kama kuna mtu amedhulumiwa haki yake, tunaingia tunaongea mbona kuna mtu amedhulumiwa haki yake. So wewe umekuwa na mdomo, unatoa video zako paka zinasumbua governor akili. Sisi leo tumekuja kufunza adabu. Tunakufanya kitu chenye ukitoka hapa ukiongea tu tunapost kwa mtandao. Sasa wale vijana walionichukua 20 wakawa wengine watatu wako huku wameziba, watatu wako huku na 5 wamenizuia pale, wana nguvu, wamenishika, nimefurukuta, lakini wapi, huku akinipiga. Ikawa pale kando kuna vijana wawili wamevaa mask. Au vijana ni wale, kuna hizi gari za kubeba uchafu hizi za Mombasa County za kubeba uchafu, wale vijana wenye kupakia yale magunia, wale ma street boys wale, ndio wakawa wamelipwa. Mmoja akavua nguo, akalivua nguo, akanilala mpaka kamaliza. Wapili akalivua tena nguo, akalala mpaka nikamaliza. Nikajikojolea, nasikia maumivu. Baadhi yao vijana wanaochukua video ni baadhi ya vijana kutoka Kisauni, Sindimba na Sele, ambao walikuwa wanafanya kwa mpaka sasa hivi wanafanya kwa Mombasani yangu. Nawashika mpaka mguu, nawaambia jamaa, kama kunipiga mshanipiga, bora mlidhulumu, na nyinyi watu walijua naumia, nisaidieni. But hawa asikii, wanacheka. Walipomaliza wakakata, wakaniambia, ukienda ukiongea mambo kwa mitandao tutaposti hizi video zako. Wakanifunga gunia, wakaniingiza kwa gari. Tunaenda tu, simu ikapigwa, na sauti niliyosikia, maanake mimi najua sauti za kila, nikisikia mtu fulani mwingine nitajua huyu ni mtu fulani. Hii ni sauti ya Sonko, hii ni sauti ya Sarai, hii ni sauti ya Ruto, sauti nazijua. Nikasikia sauti ya gavana Mombasa akipiga simu. Mimi niliwekwa kwa booth, sikuwekwa pale kwa viti sahihi. Wakati wa kurudi niliwekwa kwa booth, nikalala, nimeishiwa na nguvu. Gavana akapigia kijana mmoja anaitwa Sele, ambaye ndo kama chairman wao vijana. Akamwambia, mshamfanya ile maneno? Tushamfanya boss. Sawa, mtakula? Tutakula boss. Tuenda hapa Kingorani. Nendeni hapo na kutumania pesa. Hatujafika Kingorani. Nikasikia kwa sauti, manake wamenifunga gunia sioni, anaambia wenzake, nishatuma boss, ashatuma 10,000, ashatuma 10,000 hapa. Twende tukale. Wakaenda wakala. Mimi bado niko pale kwa gari, wamenichukua usubuhi, sijakula chochote, wamenipiga, wamenifanyia vituko. Walipomaliza kula wakarudi.
So, as you heard him say, he explains the ordeal that he went to. I really feel sorry for this young man. And what's obvious is, like he said, he knows the voices of these politicians, and it makes sense. I mean, even if you close your eyes, if you hear Ruto talk, you know it's Ruto. If you hear Raila talk, you know it's Raila, okay? So he overheard on the cell phone, through the cell phone, when one of the ringleaders who was leading the pack was talking to Abdullswamad. And, he basically confirmed. So, he knew that it was Abdullswamad that was, he knew about what was about to happen to him, or what was going to happen to him. That's why he asked, Shamaliza kufanya ile kitu, basically, have you guys finished doing what you want to do? And this should be taken seriously. I mean, we need to push this story, as Gypsy Corner have said, internationally. We can't have people doing this to people. I mean, what crime did he do? He explained there that he was a vlogger, same thing, kind of similar to what we are doing. We're making videos. I mean, I don't do the same thing, but in the same line of work, let me just say, or hobbies, or whatever you want to call it. Exposing. I don't expose, but I mention, give my opinion. But basically, he does, more than me by exposing what's happening in his county where he lives in, exposing people who don't get justice. That's why this hits home, because, it's kind of in the same work. We are doing our own individual journalistic work. I just offer my opinion, but he does more than me, 100 times more than me, important stuff than me. Okay, by exposing what's happening in his surrounding. And again, if the governor felt threatened by what he was doing, all he had to do was just invite the young man, sit down, have a talk with him, and be like, hey, listen, what exactly do you want me to do better? Okay. And maybe the young man will have made better videos, or videos that will have shed light into what Governor Abdullswamad was doing positively and where he needs to work on. You don't send young folks or hire young folks to go abduct him, sodomize him, sexually assault him, beat him up, and traumatize him. This is wrong. And Abdullswamad needs to be brought to justice. This is not excusable. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Abdullswamad needs to be brought to justice. This is unacceptable. And this young must be commended for being so brave, coming out and speaking on camera about this, because most men will never admit to such thing, or they would just be quiet and fold and never speak about it ever again. So I have to tip my hat for this young man for being brave and speaking boldly against what happened to him. Justice for Bruce. It has to trend. We have to get Abdullswamad to justice. Now, Cyprian is Nyakundi, is he's a journalist, I believe, investigative journalist, has picked up on the story too. I will show the tweets that he also posted. Gypsy saying, it's sickening, it's horrible, bleeding animals, and I'm not going to stop. We have freedom of speech. Absolutely. We do have freedom of speech. Just because you don't like what someone else is saying does not mean you have to physically harm them, okay, or worse. That is something that we have to learn as a democracy, whether it's Ruto or any other governor or any public official. It is the people who put you there. And if the media, which is supposed to actually help expose the things that the government is not doing right, then the public, individual folks like the Moraras and these young folks, and the sniper who lost his life in, was it in Embu? You know, these guys are brave. They took it upon themselves to do the job that the media has failed to do, the job that the MCAs have failed to do, the job that the senators have failed to do, the jobs that the MPs have failed to do, you know, and God bless them, because these young folks, all they needed was a phone that has a camera, or a camera, video camera, and they went to their county and did their journalistic work independently in their individual capacity, and posted in their social media and exposed the injustice that happens all over across this world. Unfortunately, things like this, like in the case of Sniper, he lost his life, and this young man, at least his life was spared, but the trauma that he's suffering is unbearable. I can't imagine. So the only way we can support him, the best way we can support him, is to help him find justice. Okay? If you can support him, I don't have his contacts. If anyone knows his contacts, please reach out. So I'm getting Mabri's here. Mabri, let me put this link here so I can, I know Nani was also asking for link. But Mabri is commenting here, is saying that Morara, there's emerging news is that Morara has been abducted by the DCI less than an hour ago. That's what's happening. I don't know. I haven't had anything, but we'll definitely hear that anytime soon. News hasn't hatujasikia habari yet, but of course we'll discuss that if that happens. We cannot do this to people. This is not right. So as I was saying, the story is in a Shikamoto. I saw Nuru Okanga sijui apologize after making that video, because actually I heard it from Nuru Okanga. I didn't know about this story till Nuru Okanga alisema. So now here is Cyprian Yakudi, who's reacting to this story, and he's saying the order to sexually assault the Mombasa-based blogger was personally executed by Governor Abdullswamad Sherrif Nasir, the son of Sherrif Nasir, if you remember that famous mayor of Mombasa, and his mother. It is time DCI Kenya goes for the head of the snakes, even as they round up the chokoras who are paid with money from the county kitty. And he actually mentions the ODPPK. Okay? Melchizedek is here joining us. Melchizedek, tupatie maoni yako. Sijui kama wewe pia umesikia Murara amenyakwa. I don't know if that's true. Mabri just ametupatia maneno. Nipatie maoni yako.
Yes, habari yako.
Mzuri, uko na echo?
Niko na echo?
Yeah. Unaweza kuzima hiyo simu wengine ya nani? Ya Ruto.
Iko mbali na mimi, sijui kwa nini.
Hello, unanisikia? Oh, yeah. Echo bado iko.
Imeenda?
Bado haijaenda. Okay. Bado kuna echo. He's fixing his gadgets. While we continue, as I said, a couple of people are mentioning this story. Edgar also is trying to put that attention to the DCI. As you can see, DCI Kenya, you are ranked as the best investigative agency in Africa. Do you want to tell us that you are unable to track down Mombasa Governor Abdullswamad Nasir, the mother and the errand boys who sodomized Mombasa-based blogger Bruce John for calling out bad governance? Or do you support what happened to Bruce John? Your inability to swing into action sounds like betrayal or support for such inhumane or inhuman activity. We want the perpetrators brought to book immediately and justice served while hot. Yes, I agree with him. We have to. This is unacceptable. We cannot have this. Hanifa also picked up on this. Hanifa, as for those of you, you know, Hanifa is an activist. And she mentioned a couple of things about this. I think apparently she had the video too, because the video is circulating around, the video of the young man screaming while it was happening. Hanifa says, why did I pass by that video? Bro, and you know, a heartbreak there. Bro, the governor of Mombasa, through his minions, the CEC, Mohammed Hussein, who's been arrested, sent people to abduct and gang raped a blogger, and they even recorded it. Now, that was the blogger calling out the governor for. Sorry, what was the blogger calling out the governor for? I'm going to magnify it and see if they can abduct us all. At Abdi Nasir, kwani we ni nani? Unajiona nani boss? Exactly. And this Abdi Nasir guy, he thinks he's like bigger than the law, because if you look at his Twitter page, and I'll show you in a minute. It's really And what hurts is like there's no justice. I mean, they've already threatened Nuru Okanga. Nuru Okanga can't really say nothing now. Larry Madowo, here he is. He also mentioned this. Here is Larry Madowo 3 hours ago. A young man was critical of a Kenyan governor online. Bruce John Chawa was abducted, tortured, sodomized, and video of his gang rape shared on social media. Sexually assaulted and humiliated for criticizing the governor of Mombasa. What savage society is this? Yeah. What kind of society are we living in? Seriously. What kind of society are we living in? Is these things yeah? Gypsy saying Nyakundi is sort of a journalist. He will be on the case. I like him. We have to push the hashtag justice for Bruce. Kenya Rebel, thanks for bringing this to light. I'm willing to help. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you have Twitter page, Facebook, your political pages, WhatsApp groups, let's push. It's trending. It's number one trending thing in Kenya right now, and we should continue so. This governor has to come down. Not only should he be impeached, he should be arrested. Him along with his mom. Hakuna kucheza. You cannot do this to human beings. I don't care. Even my worst enemies, even the people that you see me talking against here, the corrupt people, you can't do this to human beings. Morara has been, okay, we are getting that Morara has been kidnapped by the DCI and his goons and their goons. So Morara has also been kidnapped. Finally, they got tired of him. Let me see. I don't know what his Twitter is saying, but yeah, Morara was mentioning, I'm just going to his page right now, and he was mentioning the same thing of Bruce. So Morara is also, here he is, he posted 1 hour ago. It's not so mbali sana. Morara was speaking about the same thing. The sodomy of Bruce in Mombasa in an attack of the freedom of expression. Sorry. I think he meant the sodomy of Bruce in Mombasa is an attack on the freedom of expression. It is dangerous to all people who criticize bad governance and corruption. If we let it slide, we will all be raped and sodomized. We cannot let it slide. Let's prepare to dirtify the streets. The mother of all demonstration is loading. This time round, we will combine it with Adani and Sherrif. Yes. Oh, here is. Thank you so much. Somebody posted number Abdullswamad. We shall call him. Shall we? Let me write it down. I want to write this number. I want to write this number down. Can somebody save it for me? Go chat. Gypsy Corner, please, if you're still watching. Abdullswamad's number. We have to email him and write to him. Yes, his email ndio hiyo. Telephone number. There are two. Yes, let's deal with him. Absolutely. This terrorist needs to be dealt with. Okay. Morara is actually trending now. Yeah, Morara has been in Neo. It seems like it. Okay. So yeah. The governor, I won't be surprised if this is connected. Maybe Uyu governor, probably was working with Ruto's government to get Morara. Okay, so here is Morara was speaking on the issue. I will play it.
Which is also known as the Inject Party of Kenya and the Kenya Ni Home movement. My name is Morara Kebaso. I'm the leader of the Inclusive National Justice, Economic and Civic Transformation Party of Kenya, which is also known as the Inject Party of Kenya and the Kenya Ni Home movement. And today I've been saddened after watching a video of Bruce, who was sodomized in a very sad event in Mombasa. 25-year-old Bruce John, who goes by the name Chawa 001, was abducted and sodomized on the September 12th of 2024. He was picked up by more than 20 people from his home, some of whom were county officials, allegedly to go and apologize to the governor of Mombasa, Abdullswamad Sherrif Nasir, for criticizing the county government of Mombasa. The gentleman was instead not taken to Tamarind Hotel, where he had been told that he would apologize to the governor, but was instead sodomized in Miritini area and later dumped near Mwakirunge dump site. This is a very sad event, and much as some of the suspects have been arrested and charged in court, we cannot be a country where we only arrest the small fish. The Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, should come out clearly and tell the nation whether the governor of Mombasa, Abdullswamad Sherrif Nasir, is above the law. These people clearly did not do this evil act by themselves. This was a coordinated attack against the Constitution and against the freedom of expression to pick up a young gentleman in his 25 years, full of dreams and full of hopes, and to destroy his life by turning him on his back and sodomizing him in a very, very sad event, which I've watched on video, and I've been unable to watch it twice. I'm under a lot of pain and anger after watching this video, and I believe this is the feeling of most of the Kenyans. And therefore, I would like to issue a statement and state as follows. I am giving the Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, an ultimatum to arrest the governor of Mombasa, Abdullswamad Sherrif Nasir, to answer to charges of being an accessory to crime and being a conspirator to crime. Sodomy is such a demeaning thing to any man or to any boy. It destroys a person's life and their dreams and their hope of ever living a normal life again. I know Bruce has received treatment, but I don't know whether if that happened to you or to your son or to your brother, whether they will ever be able to live a normal life again. If the governor of Mombasa is not investigated, arrested, and charges preferred upon him for conspiring, hiring these criminals, then I'm ready, willing, and able to stop all my activities and lead a nationwide demonstration to demand for accountability of this governor. We have become a nation that is tolerant to criminals, and to make it worse, we've even elected criminals into our elective institution. Today in Parliament, we have a person who shot someone during election day. That person died, the family lost someone, people cried, and to this day we've not seen accountability. We live in a country where several people died in Shakahola. The government has never been accountable as to how many people died, why they died, and who killed them, but instead has gone for the small fish. We live in a country where people have been abducted, tortured, and killed, and some have been found in quarries, and there has been no accountability. No single police officer has been arrested. None of them has been charged in court. The Independent Police Oversight Authority keeps pussyfooting on this issue, yet they are funded by taxpayers' money to work. So we wonder what work they are doing. We live in a country where several bodies were retrieved from quarry, and to this day, the person who killed them was released from jail, and the police tried to lie to us that this person escaped through a gap in the wire mesh, a gap that had already rusted, which was clearly not a fresh cut. There has been no accountability for those deaths in a police orchestrated escape. We cannot continue like this. We cannot continue as a country that glorifies criminality, glorifies the torture and killing of citizens, glorifies the demeaning and the complete annihilation of life, like the way it has been done to Bruce, who has been turned on his back and sodomized. Therefore, this is a warning to the new Inspector General. The Constitution gives you independent powers as the Inspector General of our nation to be independent and to exercise your power independently. If you are unable to do so, I would like to let you know that you drive public money, you sleep in public money, you eat public money, the uniform you're wearing is public money, the gun you have is public money, the bullets you have are public money. The public even buys you airtime. If you are unable to work, your tenure is going to be the shortest tenure of any Inspector General. And I'm not just speaking for myself, but on behalf of very many Kenyans who are pained by the sheer lack of compassion that is with the people that hold high offices, including the office of the DCI. Therefore, the Inspector General, together with the DCI, Mohamed Amin, if we do not see action within the next few days, be assured, be rest assured, take it as a joke at your own risk, that we are going to demonstrate non-stop, day and night without stop, until the perpetrators of this heinous crime are brought to book. Thank you, and God bless you.
So, Cyprian Nyakundi also has just posted confirming that Morara, speaking of, has been abducted. In fact, he has kind of a video. I don't know if it's a video of him chasing the car that had Morara, but it's a short video here. It's a clip, basically, as we are getting information that Morara has been abducted by the DCI folks, goons. Here it is. It's from
DCI. Na angalia ndio wanatokea. Wao ndio wameka siren. Haya. Nende. Angalia kasarani ama. Sasa nini DCI? Na angalia ndio wanatokea. Wao ndio wameka siren. Haya. Nende.
So those are young men that were following the DCI people who just abducted Nani. Amekuwa abducted. Morara has been just abducted a few hours ago, if not an hour ago. So they are kind of following that. They're wondering if anampelekwa Kasarani ama anapelekwa wapi. We'll get more info as it happens. But as I said, this thing is like watu wamekasirika. Even Costarians, Muslims, they are really expressing themselves regarding this Abdullswamad, Bruce incident. No one is laughing with him, and I'm glad people are outraged. No one should stop until Abdullswamad is in jail. Him along with his mom is there all.
Kimakosa hatuwezi kukubali, anachochea kwa maslaha yake, na mtaja jina waziwazi. Sarai ameingilia hii kesi kwa sababu ya kutaka kujipendekeza kwa wananchi. Mtu ambaye hana hatia achukuliwe kimakosa, hatuwezi kukubali. Sarai, wacha ujinga. Free Amado! Free Amado! Free Amado! Free Amado!
I'm not exactly sure about that. So here's people are speaking about this. Guys. Sorry. Let me play this another. People are speaking up, as I said. It's trending right now, and I'm glad that Ujamaa, he needs to be taken to jail. Abdullswamad, kauni kurudi Yemen, urudi Yemen. We are not playing that. Kenya is different.
Hiyo story ya Bruce ya Mombasa that I've actually just been avoiding kabisa kuiongelea. Now, a brief summary of what actually happened is that Bruce aliyosema vitu fulani against the governor, the mother's governor, na vitu kama hizo, na watu hawakupenda, then Bruce akawa abducted na akafanywa vitu mbaya. Now guys, mimi kitu ambacho kinaniudhi, ambacho kinasikitisha sana is the comment section ya vitu zenye zinafanyika. Now, kuna watu wanasema kuwa vitu zenye zili happen kwa Bruce zilikuwa justified kwa sababu ya vitu zenye alisema. Mimi personally sikupenda vitu zenye Bruce alisema kwa hiyo video. In fact, I found it very difficult to watch hiyo video. But that doesn't mean kuwa it was right yeye kwenda kufanyiwa vitu zenye alifanyiwa. That is why Kenya tuko na katiba na tuko na sheria. Na kama governor ama mtu yote alifeel kuwa Bruce vitu zenye alifanya zilikuwa wrong, the best option ingekuwa kumpeleka polisi, kumfungulia kesi, na hata pengine angefungwa. You know, that is what is supposed to happen. But you guys, mnavaa mikanzu, mnajiita Waislamu na mikofia, kila mahali mnapita, astaghfirullah, kila kitu. Alafu mnaenda kumfanyia huyu jamaa vitendo vya kaumulut na mnajiita Waislamu. Then you come here and you want to justify it, you know. It is just sad. Angalia, and here hapa kwa TikTok, there are several women mpaka wanatoa videos. Hawa wanawake na mabuibui na midera na wanajiita Waislamu, and they are coming on TikTok kujaribu kusema kuwa Bruce alikuwa tayari ni LGBTQ whatever, sijui Bruce alikuwa anafaa kufanywa hizo vitu. Others are mocking Bruce. I mean guys, sincerely, hata nyinyi, like a woman, you know, katika Kiingereza wanasema kuwa a mad person usually looks very funny if they are not your relative. I mean, how sure are you that hata wewe hauna mtoto wa kiume, ama kama hauna mtoto wa kiume, your relative ako na mtoto wa kiume, na huyo mtoto wa kiume anaweza fanya something na yeye akafanywa hivyo, mtoto wako wa kiume akifanywa hivyo, would you guys really feel well? Ama ni kwa sababu this guy is not a Swahili? I saw one of the comments about pia ilinitatiza sana, and someone said that this guy is ni mbara, and so this guy should just accept it like ni tabia yake. I mean guys, are you sure Bruce angekuwa ni Mswahili nyote mngekuwa mnapiga kelele vile mnapiga hivi? I mean, I don't really expect such kinds of words for people ambao wakifanywa tu kitu kidogo hivi, they'll start saying vile Waislamu tunaonewa, vile Waislamu sini nini, they'll start making a lot of noise. I mean guys, for God's sake, hata kama wewe si Muislamu, hata kama uko na shida aina gani, hata kama unachukia Bruce, hata kama unachukia sijui nini, at least guys, try and defend what is like honest and genuine, you know. Tukue tu honest na tukue tu wa kweli. Just be realistic. Usikuje hapa online unatengeza video unaambia watu vile sijui Bruce nitakana akubali sijui nini, and you guys are calling yourself Muslims. Now, mimi nitasema hivi, I don't find it funny kuwa hizi videos zinatoka na watu wanasema vitu kama hizo. And the reason is, ni kwa sababu kuna Waswahili wenzao wameshikwa kule. I saw that guy Emirates, yeah? Na wengine ambao probably watakuja kupatikana. And that is why the pressure is increasing. That's why wanajaribu kuleta hizi diversions. But guys, hata kama Bruce ni LGBTQ or whatever chenye mnasema, it doesn't make sense for him to be abducted, afanyiwe vitu zenye alifanyiwa. And today it might be Bruce. Kesho inaweza kuja ikatokea ni relative wako, inaweza tokea ni ango yako, inaweza tokea ni ndugu yako. You know, life doesn't really predict kila kitu kwa hii dunia, na vitu zinabadilika. Leo unaweza kuwa wewe ni mtu una support Sherrif, Nasir, Sen, whatever, ama una support Moha, unafurahi vitu zimetokea Bruce, but kesho mnaweza tofautiana na huyo Sherrif Nasir ukawa sehemu nyingine, na atatumia the same weapon allegedly. Sisemi ati Bruce Sherrif Nasir amefanya anything, but atatumia the same weapon against you, and you guys will be making a lot of noise, you know. And angalia tu comments, go and check the videos wanafanya, alafu ndio ujue kuwa these guys wanajua watu wanafanya ni upumbavu. They disable the comments, yeah. Mtu anapost video hivi anaongea matope alafu anafunga comments, yeah. If at all unajiamini, if at all you feel confident with whatever you are saying, mbona msiache comments? Mbona msiache watu wa comment vile wanataka? Mbona mna delete comments? Mbona mnafunga comments?
That's a good point. For those of you, not let me say those of you here, but for those who think that it's okay to do that for him, hata kama angekuwa LGBT or whatever the case, no one deserves to be sodomized and sexually assaulted for purely criticizing the governor. No one deserves that. Whether you're LGBT, straight, whatever the case is, no one deserves that. So I'm not, no. Someone and your mother, you need to go into jail. Both of you. Yeah, and I'm talking about your mother. Nikujie. Yes. You need, I have his number. I just got his number in Tampigia Sim, and I want to record it for my next for my next live. So people can, let's see if he's going to pick up. But yeah, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if in case you're living under the rock, Morara has been kidnapped, to say that he has been kidnapped. People are really coming out in support of Nani, this young man. This young man, what's his name? Bruce. Here's another video about what's happened.
Lakini amjambo jamaa, mko fiti, mko fresh. Niko naye mdogo wangu hapa Bruce John Kajira, na tunashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu anaendelea vizuri, bado ana maumivu makali, bado anaendelea na madawa, anaendelea na masindano, lakini alhamdulillah ala kulli hali anaendelea vizuri. Na la muhimu ni kwamba nyinyi kama Wakenya mumkumbuke katika maombi na muombe Mwenyezi Mungu kwamba haki isimame. Haki hii isimame kwa sababu Bruce alikuwa he had the courage ya kuliongelea hili swala. Mkumbuke kwamba alikuwa ametishiwa kwamba akilizungumzia video zake zitalik, lakini hivyo hivyo akasema kwamba yuko radhi ulimwengu mzima uone vilivyodhulumiwa, lakini atazungumza. Umeona, na hii itasaidia wale vijana wengine pia ambao pia walidhulumiwa kama hivi, lakini wameona haya kuzungumza, wameogopa kwamba video zao zitafanya zitalika. Kwa hivyo ndugu zangu wa Kenya, sina mambo mengi, yangu ni hayo. Mkumbuke Bruce katika maombi.
Okay. So you can see right now on the timeline, Kenyan Ninio, it's all about this case inashika moto vizuri, and let's make it go viral. Paka huyu Abdullswamad aende jela. And my suspicion is here is what I think. Here is what I think. Morara has great influence, okay? Of, these past several months, Morara has been the main guy, being looked at as the official opposition, basically. And for him to come out and speak and posting that video about what happened in Mombasa, that clearly shows, that, he's affecting, this governor is, who governor, like you said, ulisikia kama nani huyo kijana Bruce, when he was giving that information, when he was giving that interview about what happened to him, he mentioned that what he has been posting regarding the governor has been affecting the governor. Governor anasumbuliwa. He's very sensitive, okay? Basically, Abdullswamad is a little bitch. So he can't take criticism. So huyu jamaa, I didn't even know who Bruce is, but of course Bruce, he has some kind of traction up in Kenya. So these were affecting him. So what happens is this: for Morara to come out, Morara, who's now a national figure, to speak on so for Morara, who's a national figure, to speak on this issue, it brings light in a letter attention, because kumbuka, Abdullswamad wants this story iende. He wants it to go away. He thought he will do this to this young man Bruce, and Bruce atajificha, anyamaze, your story ishe hivyo, problem solved, okay? But Bruce was brave enough, thank God for him, he was brave enough to come on camera and explain what happened to him. As traumatic as it may be, he still maintained a straight face and explain exactly what happened to him. and linked Abdullswamad into this based on the phone call that the cheerleader, Abdullswamad's, top lieutenant who was administering this whole atrocity, he had overheard his voice. So that's how the link happens. Okay? So now that Morara has spoken about this issue, I see Mabri here. And I'll bring him. Let me say this quickly before I bring Mabri. So now that Morara is a national figure and is bringing attention to this issue, maybe Abdullswamad had to make that call to DCI, Ruto, whoever the case is, because if you read that Cyprian Ninio tweets, anasema ati Abdullswamad has been trying, anapigia police, is trying to tell the police not to question him, anajaribu basically to scuttle this whole investigation. So I won't be surprised if Abdullswamad called the DCI and whoever is responsible, this corrupt organization, to go after Morara, because Morara has a national attention. He's the main guy right now. So if he's going to mention anything about this, Ninio, it makes Abdullswamad looks bad. So my suspicion is Governor of Mombasa, that terrorist, went and called the DCI to go after Morara. Anyway, Mabri, karibu sana. And Melchizedek also, I see ameingia, lakini Mabri endelea. Please, thank you for breaking the news about Morara. Start where you want to start.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope I'm clear.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, first, it's very unfortunate what happened to Bruce. I feel for him, man. That's quite inhuman. Although the clips zimeanza kusurface leo, I was following the story just the other day and what they did to him. And I hope umeona ndio afike OC, like after sodomizing him walimfunika na magunia. So some guys wakipita ndio waliona something moving kwa gunia tu, wakaenda wakafungua wakapata ni yeye. It's very sad. And the other day unakumbuka nikiwaambia, right now in this nation we are not ruled by the rule of the law. Watu washachukua sheria mkononi, like kama wewe ni politician they feel they are untouchable. The police sijui hata wanaserve nani, si utumishi kwa wote anymore. They become arrogant. Right now it's wananchi for themselves and politicians and the power and everything. And that's quite sad to imagine we as a nation we could get to this.
Yeah,
it's very sad.
Yeah, hiyo story nani, mimi nilijua, I just knew about this Bruce case through Nuru Okanga, and apparently Nuru Okanga asked for forgiveness, maybe alipigiwa simu, because remember Nuru Okanga alikuwa anasema hao vijana wakuja wamjaribu huko Jacaranda, they'll know what he's about. But yeah, so that's how I knew about this case. Alafu leo I can see it's kind of trending, everyone is talking about it, which is good. Let's pay attention to, let's bring light to this ninio. Melchizedek, karibu sana, maoni yako.
Yes, habari zenu. Bado niko na echo?
No. Kuna echo nikiongea, yeah.
Wewe sasa unafaa unyamaze basi.
Okay, endelea.
Unajua kama kuna vitu zingine zinakuanga uchungu ni hizi vitu tunaona. So I think nilikuwa naenda through hii nini, nimeona kama hiyo story ni ukweli, hiyo ya Morara. Na nimeona sijui wakina Kalonzo kina nani wanaenda huko DCI. So I don't know wanaenda kwa Morara ama wanaenda kwa kitu kingine. Anyway, saa hii sina mambo, nimeshikwa tu na huzuni sana juu ya hiyo jamaa. Huwezi fanyia mtu kama hivyo, then expect watu wanyamaze. So I think we need to do something about it by even support him. Maneno za hospitali na vitu mingi, so that he can be okay. Right now sina neno.
Asante. Yeah, I wanted this morning to ni concentrate kwa mambo ya huyu kijana na Morara because I was saving Gachagua for the evening. I'll have another session for evening. Nizungumze mambo ya what will be happening tomorrow. But just to confirm, sijui kama Mabri wewe, I know you are somewhere, in the ground. Is it still going on ati kesho wataleta motion ya nini on what time will it be hiyo motion ya kutoa Gachagua, and what are the ninio, what are the grounds for ninio, have they made it clear ya kutoa Gachagua?
Okay, yeah. Hii story ya huyu kijana inafanya tu hata tone inakuwa tu sad, but
Yeah.
Acha ni pick in from the Morara story. I was just getting online, then naona Morara has been abducted, then ndio naangalia, that's when nimeweka nini hapo kwa link, and I'm glad mmeweza kuipick. Now, something interesting about Morara right now, hata huwezi jua who is attacking Morara, because hata kina Kalonzo vile wameenda huko, I feel is more of a threat to them than the government itself, because it's actually picking the space of opposition and doing it in a very charismatic and objective way. Na ukiangalia kama umefollow, yesterday was on a Sunday. Kuna reports emerging that kina Kalonzo walikuja hapa Mlolongo wakanyimwa kuongea in a church, wakafukuzwa, wakaambiwa waingie. You can follow on that. It was Mlolongo ya Kasina. They also went to Kitengela. They were like denied access to speak to the public. I think here Mlolongo walipatana, I guess ni polisi walikuwa wengi or something. But for them going there, I feel it is like the amount of hypocrisy in them, and they want to drag this young man to their politics, whereby ni kama wanajaribu the young people to go to their side, which I feel their time is over. Like ikiwezekana, we only need to go back to the streets. And I remember sometimes back tukiongea tu kwa hii forum, I mentioned things are falling into space because hawa watu wanaagitate mwananchi vibaya sana. Ukiangalia things which are happening from the Bruce case, watu huko Mombasa unaona vile wanakasirika, and the government, I don't know who advises them. They are doing things, it's like deliberately wataku agitate mwananchi, like mtafanya nini? Because I expect, assuming it's someone like you who holds an office, there is an extent you cannot go, and you will always ask yourself like questions and try to avoid situations being linked to your office. But the way things wanafanya hapa ni ati, mtafanya nini? Nitafanya, so I'm going to send guys to sodomize this guy. Acha nione vile watadu. I'm above the law, you get? Kama umesikia hiyo clip ya Morara, umeona zile cases zimekuwa zikifanyika, the things which are happening, and hii abduction yake it adds up to many other abductions which zimekuwa zikifanyika but zinakanyagiwa. So as a nation, I don't know what we need. It's totally, we need to change the way things are happening, because ukiendelea hivi, I don't see I don't see the end of it all. Now, when it comes to Gachagua, I'm very careful with whatever I'm going to comment on, because I don't know very sure, because all I know is that President Ruto had convened a meeting at State House with all UDA MPs, which is supposed to happen, I think, tomorrow or something, tomorrow in the morning. And now, what I know might happen, probably, I don't see Rigathi being impeached, according to me, because two things might happen. the court will play a big hand in everything which is happening. And me, I want to like genuinely pose a question to everyone who is listening. The grounds of impeaching Rigathi, they are saying is preaching tribalism, is promoting tribalism. He does not respect the president. He lies about him being removed in a WhatsApp group. And then you ask yourself, between Rigathi and Ruto, who is the biggest liar and whose lie has caused serious problems to this nation? Since the Gen Z movement, Ruto was there. We summoned Ruto to a Twitter space. He came and we gave him whatever we gave him, our demands. First was on that particular cop who was shooting people on a broad daylight. He was captured on camera and everything. The president was there telling us, like, you know what, forward the name and the photos and the videos of that guy, then we'll see what we'll do. After that, now we start seeing men in Subaru coming with masks. You cannot identify them anymore. That was the lie number one. The second one, you remember we've been talking about the cabinet anyway. This guy basically fired the entire cabinet and he brings them back. The only thing he did was to create space for few ODM MPs to the space so that it might look like he's doing anything. And then to add salt to the wound, he finds other private spaces to the rest of the cabinet secretaries whom he had fired. Who is the liar here? Another one. I want to ask, if I'm working with you and I'm your number two in any given space, if I'm your number two and I only get much of my power when you are absent, if I'm not performing, it is on whose merit?
The Ruto, because it's the boss. Yeah.
Rigathi is claiming that he only knows that Ruto has left the country through the media. So if he is not exposed to perform because much information has been hidden to him. Now, two things which might happen probably in case the UDA MPs convened in parliament, I mean in State House, is they had planned, they might think of a way to remove Gachagua as the deputy party leader. Now that way they have grounds of impeachment on the merit that is no longer a member of UDA party. But if they table a motion in parliament, it might lack the ground of impeachment.
Yes.
Because I don't think they have the legit details on what to do. When we talk about Rigathi, for him, because much of the allegations is that he's been promoting tribalism and Kenya belongs to everyone. He's been concentrating on Mount Kenya. I don't see that being a reason for impeachment. Either way, also Ruto has been using Rift Valley as his escape route. The other time we are planning demos and he goes to crown Eldoret as a city. You guess those were politics. Then he started saying, protect your city, don't let these goons to destroy your city. Like, if you look at it, I don't see any way Ruto should remain in office. I think he's only there. They should live together anyway, and the entire regime should live. Ruto has not even yet appointed the IEBC commissioners as he had promised, like in 2 weeks' time. When is this going to end, my brother?
Yeah. In fact, even Koech was asked in one of those morning shows to give the Ninio reasons why, how grounds of impeachment, and they were defeated.
Why is the name of Rigathi Gachagua not on that list? If the DCI presenting some details to the ODPP, and the ODPP agreed there are grounds to charge certain officials, certain MPs, and some leaders that are close to the deputy president. Why is the name of Rigathi Gachagua not on that list if he's involved?
That is another process. This is another arm of government. That is an investigatory arm. This is parliament. These are grounds for
what I'm asking is
there are grounds good enough to point that the deputy president was involved in using proxies.
How do members of parliament know this?
In orchestrating violence against the population of this country.
What I'm asking is, how did members of parliament learn about this?
I mean, the move of the motion will be at pains to explain how we got
Are
information.
you saying it?
Where I'm speaking from, I've told you, I do not want to divulge much information about this motion that is coming. I'm simply trying to highlight some of the grounds of his impeachment.
No, I'm just wondering, because the investigative arms in this country, right?
Absolutely.
Members of parliament are not such.
Yes.
So how did they learn that this happened?
Of course, when you're writing a motion, there is a lot of meat that is given from different areas.
Yeah.
You must remember also that the cabinet Professor Kindiki appeared before a committee last Thursday and did confirm, indeed, that the deputy president was involved in orchestration of violence.
He said that.
He did, and he even aired it. And he said it points it points to the door, directly to the doorstep of the deputy president. Yeah, in terms of violence, it was breaking news. It was highlighted, and it was explained.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I'll...
You see how he's struggling. Ati anasema, this is the silly part of it. He's saying the DPP is, I mean, deputy president, he was involved in corruption and is also into violence. Sasa naulizwa, why is it that the names of people who are named to be corrupt or whatever the case is, the Gachagua's name is not there? Then anasema, oh, but his associates, he's using proxies. Then wanamuuliza, okay, where did Nio alisema ati alianza mambo ya violence? From what I've seen, I haven't had I'm not here to defend Gachagua, but I'm just saying, I've never heard him calling for violence. He always talks about mlima, but he never says, okay, twende tukaue watu, tukachinja hawa vijana. Never. And even, so go ahead.
I think they're implicating him. They want to find grounds of impeachment. I think it was open. You and I saw it. The reason why we demonstrated, it was not because we were paid.
Mm-hmm.
If at all, kama kuna mtu anafaa kutolewa anywhere na in fact anyongwe, ni huyu mtu alikuwa na propose finance bill, because against all odds,
yes,
that's the person who agitated this nation to go into the streets. Mm-hmm. They were being told everywhere, like, we don't want this thing, and they are like, it must pass, and wakaipitisha cha lazima, you get?
Yes.
So where did Gachagua play a part in did not being okay with the whatever was in that finance bill? Did he come to my house to pay me to tell me don't agree with this?
Yeah, even huyo Koech alishindwa kujibu swali, anasema ati that's a different case, sijui nini. Of course, if let's say Gachagua hata akishikwa kwa ninio, DCI ikimpata guilty or whatever the case, if the case is taken to court, you can use that to present it in the parliament to impeach him, but his name was never there. So hawa watu ni mchezo tu wanacheza. They're joking. I think ni mchezo wa town.
Well, I think what they are doing, they know they command numbers right now in parliament. They have the numbers. So if they need to impeach him, they don't even need anybody's support. It's a matter of, we want this done, and whoever agrees with them. And by the way, something worth following on, I think Unajio Kimani Ichung'wah does not agree with Rigathi on many things.
Yes.
Have you ever seen him comment on the impeachment motion?
Not lately. I haven't heard him say anything about it.
He's never said anything. He's very cautious on what he speaks about it. Because either way, for me, I think the Rigathi impeachment is 2027 politics unfolding, and Ruto trying to create new alignments and because he knows he won't have majority support anyway come 2027.
Yeah, and also this impeachment, what will go ahead, Melchizedek?
Yeah, I let me just come in to say something regarding this issue. I told you before yesterday that what makes these people to push this issue of impeachment is just to convert the people's mind to stop this issue of what is happening in Kenya. Because last time you know that Adani is there, and also this KICC that they were saying about the selling. I think these are the things that these people are trying to bring up so that people can concentrate on other things and leave the major things so that they can go ahead and do what they want to do. That is my observation. The way I'm seeing things are going, there is nothing like impeachment. This is just a drama that these people are bringing together. They have seated down and say, okay, these people, they have already realized that we want to do something. Let us do this so that so many people can pay attention to this issue of Rigathi Gachagua. So again, another thing that I'm seeing is happening also, they are trying to adapt people so that this issue of what is happening. These people are very smart because they have trained thieves from the word go. So they are trying to minimize, they are trying to do anything that will hinder them not to go ahead with their plans. That's why they are coming up with this one, and they're saying this one. Yet they are eating together, sleeping together, sharing their ideas together, how they will sell Kenya. Because if you already sell KCC and you sell airport, Kenya is gone. There is nothing remains, if I'm not wrong. Because if you can sell, if you can think about what brings people to your country, that's the first thing you are doing with, which means there is something that these people are trying to playing with us. They see people now, they are quiet. Gen Z is now quiet because of what they did, this shit, and they are trying to threaten people, such kind of things. So this issue of regarding Gachagua, there is no any point that they can put on the table, because the guy is talking even if he is talking arrogantly, but he's talking something that even you yourself can say, oh, this guy doesn't have anything that going up against the crime and everything. I laughed before yesterday when he was saying that he was trained to be in maybe 30 years he can shoot. I was laughing when I see the stomach. Then I say there is something good from the so it's something funny, but it's the reality. I'm not defending as you say, but the real thing is these people want us to forget what they want to do. And if we concentrate on that, the so-called Rigathi Gachagua, it will reach a point whereby you find that they already give Adani the airport, they have sold the how you call it, K what?
You mean the airport?
No. The KICC.
Yeah, KICC.
They want to. They were planning to do that. which you people, all people know about this. So they have two major things that make them to divert people's mind so that people cannot debate about these two things.
Yeah. And
that one is my view.
Thank you. And the reason why I say this impeachment will not work, because remember, it's a process. If you remember the one with Linturi, yes, they might vote him out. There might be enough. Remember when Oguda was showing us in his signatures of all these senators and whatever, MPs, whatever. They might have the numbers to impeach him. But before the actual final process and he is removed, they will impeach. Yes, he will be impeached. Then they will look at the evidence. There's a committee, I don't know what they call it, committee, impeachment committee, whatever the committee is, which will investigate for 11 days, I think, 11 or 13 or 7 days or whatever the case is. And they will look at the evidence regarding the grounds in which they want to impeach him for. Okay? Then that committee will come up and decide and say, okay, we've investigated this issue and we found that Linturi is not guilty of what they want to impeach him for, just like Linturi they did. So the same thing will happen. That investigative body, after they vote him out, even if they have 200 and something senators and MPs voting him out, it will go to this committee. This committee will do their nonsensical investigation and they'll come back and say, hey, there's nothing. And even if it passed that, Nania Naeza kind of Kotini says, hey, the constitution gives a guideline on what I can be impeached for. Let's look at what's in there. They are accusing me of being corrupt. I've never been brought to court for corruption. There's no evidence of that. There's no evidence. And so he will not be. It's more than just MPs. We have the numbers. We are going to impeach him. It's more than that. So, like I said, what the likely scenario which will happen, which is a distraction anyway. Yes, they might have enough numbers, the ODM MPs and the UDA, and I don't think Jubilee will vote him out. But even if they have the numbers, it will go to this committee and they will investigate it. They'll find nothing on him and he will survive. But what it will do is heighten political tension. So overall, it will be a good show for everyone else. But Gachagua is not going anywhere. And here's a clip, Mabri, of what you are talking about. I think when Kalonzo was denied, he was denied a chance to speak in. Is it Mlolongo? You said Mlolongo somewhere.
Yes.
Let me see if I can. I think I have him and Eugene Wamalwa and I think who else? I don't know. When DCI denied them access to that. Let me see.
Kamala Harris is
sorry.
But Kamala been day one at San Francisco.
You must respect the rule of law. You know why you stop when there is none. Hii Kenya hii unatafuta shida. This is what we are saying. We cannot allow this. They have to respect the rule of law. And we are being told it's being held for very flimsy grounds. As he called wakubwa wengine sijui Obama, and that's what we hear. But haven't we heard these people calling themselves each other the snakes? What's the difference between a snake and the tree? I don't understand. They've been calling each other vipers. Have you seen the Honorable Ishungo being arrested for calling Gachagua a viper? It's an expression. It's freedom of expression. Wanaitana nyoka. Kama wengine wanaitana umbwa, it's freedom of expression. And they cannot arrest our plans and deny access. Unajua ukiipa umbwa, it's common sense, you can never be adopted. No, lakini ukiita mtu mchawi, unaweza kuwa mchawi na mganga. when you call Uhuru a conman, which Ruto did when he was campaigning, you can actually be sued for defamation. Yes. Ingine mambo ingine ya kusumbuana hapa. Hii siasa tutasukumana naye, and I want to tell you, come 2027 you not earlier, they are home. Wataenda nyumbani. Wachukue. Kenyans have decided, they're just waiting for the day. And the sooner they start preparing to exit, the better. Na sasa kukuja hapa alafu unafunga harassment. The opposition. I mean, these are things we were seeing before even 1979. What next? We have to stay our plan. And we will do that before we leave here. Senator Mando.
It is a public office, and you cannot deny a lawyer access to his client. And the so-called offense is a petty offense, which does not get addressed by the level of DCI. It should be addressed by, a very junior officer within the police station. And there's nothing much to write about. If some of things are very, they take it to court. So DCI deals with the more complex crimes in the country. I'm surprised they have become divided because there are so many other people killing others. They have not yet told us where the people have disappeared are. They themselves have attested to us in terms of disappearances and killings. And therefore, DCI deals with serious crime. This is petty crime. And therefore, it should be in court, and any evidence adduced, we should see who are the witnesses.
Let me congratulate Jubilee. Wameshinda kesi yao.
I don't think this is a clip.
Oh, this is a different one.
Yeah. Up, I think in the DCI headquarters or something. They were trying to access the premises. Here, Jana, they were even forced to cancel 2 rallies in Kitengela. It's a different one. I think Nikipata, I'll just share the link with you maybe before the other session. Now, let me bring you two things to your attention.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes back in 2021, 2022, you remember the story about the Huduma card, where they wanted to change our ID numbers and everything. Then the court pronounced itself, wakasema it's illegal and everything. Sijui kama umekuwa in touch na anyone who is trying to renew their IDs. Actually zinakam na expiry ya 2033. Na ziko na hiyo chip. They are not like the normal ID cards. Na kama sahi anyone ukipoteza ID you try to like replace, it takes like forever to come. My friend was forced, like yake alijaribu ku replace since last year. Ilimlazimisha ende Huduma Center, akatumwa sheria. Now they are holding them, ndio watu kwanza wasahau story, but washa print hizo IDs ziko na chip zinaitwa Huduma card or something. If they are already there printed, I think maybe anyone who is preaching e-gospel ya 2027, by the way, sifurahishi na yeye. I'm not okay kabisa. Why should we wait?
That's one thing. If there's one thing that I disagree with Morara, is that exact point. Nasema he's doing everything right, but hii mambo yake ya kusema ati nitashinda Ruto in 2027, not because I don't believe in him or anything, but he has to be very naive to think that utafika 2027 na utamshinda kwa kura fair and square, which he might. I mean, but the game is already rigged. In fact, I was seeing someone reported hii story, the same ID story. Tuseme ukienda kuchukua ID wewe, tukienda kuchukua ID, not only do they print one, wanna print several.
Yes, and I think they intend to use errors and
Absolutely. Because wameshaji prepare. Ndio maana that's the only thing that ndio maana mimi nasema Morara does a good job, and expose, anafanya kila kitu, everything, but for him to think that in 2027 atashindana na Ruto na ashinde Ruto fair and square, he must be living in La La Land. Hiyo haitafanyika. Ruto ashajipanga.
I was following story ya Morara on kuna mtu ameniweka mahali najisikia
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because
Ngoja kidogo Mechezi, just give us a minute. Okay. Alafu utaenda next after nani Mabri. Okay, go ahead Mabri.
Yeah, nilikuwa sikiza hii story ya Murara about the 2027 presidential bid and everything. And I kinda didn't feel like it was the right way to put it, you know. If he has to do like serious civic education, I think he was doing good, and the aim of whatever he was doing is to agitate mwananchi na kumchanua ajue yenyewe hapa nimekuwa nikikuwa messed up. Lakini unaona sasa ashafungua political party, what guarantees me it will be different than the rest, you know?
Yeah, that's why I'm suspicious of anyone and everyone. I suspect any siamini kila mtu, because I'm like, okay, yeah, Morara is a smart person. He's a smart young man, and he lives in Kenya. He knows how the system works. You cannot be serious thinking that utaenda na hiyo chama chako ya inject party ushinde Ruto in 2027.
Not just does he live in Kenya, alikampeni ya Ruto 2022. He was one of the key persons to garner the youth vote in Ruto's secretariat. He
Exactly.
said that. Yeye ndiye alisema hivyo ndio wakakonyo and everything. So I think he understands better, and hii kitu by the way ilianza kunipea wasiwasi because he might be playing the Raila Odinga card whereby we agitate the young people, agitate then pale kwenda pale mbele ikiiba wewe wanza ku innuendos gimmicks, na hapo ndio unaona kina Kalonzo maybe pia wanakasirika
Tiala TV.
Wezi niambia watu wawili washaiongea, washaikaa table moja wakaplan, you know, it's a matter of, you know how I think, I know how, like, and Ruto is not stupid anyway. Because what is happening right now is my brother Melchizedek said, hata hizi unaona the sodomy, abductions, watakutishia vijana upate hatuwezi jipeleka street tena.
Exactly.
Upate kila mtu, hata wazazi wanaona we kijana wangu ataenda pale abductiwe, wacha.
Yeah, intimidation tactics. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what is happening right now. Now, ndio niachie Melchizedek. Another thing which maybe we need to look at, na hata nilikuwa na challenge to my local leaders around here. Me, I'm very outspoken and I fear nothing, kitu moja. Like, I know you are the person involved, I have your contact, I always call. Namba kuna mtu napeaga headache is my local MCA na senator, you know. Revelation about Wavinyandeti's doings na kuiba pesa ya umma zilitokea, si ndio? Then this lady comes, wamelipa watu 200, they play politics about it. I remember we talked about this. Then when she came here, story kakanyagiwa. You get? And after hapo ndio unaona hizi distractions mingi. Then I gave a call to my MCA and I was like, bro, you as a person who is supposed to hold Flani and Flani accountable, what step did you take to address such an issue? Ama ulisema tu ni siasa yatapita na yaishi? And now that's how Wakenya tunabebewa akili hapa. Sisi utrend, washajua it's about trending. Right now Mabri will trend. Kesho ni wewe Kenyan Rebel, Mabri asaulike. Kesho kutwa Melchizedek, wewe usaulike, and it goes on and on and on and on. Na ukiangalia hata hizi vitu Murara anaonyesha, for a president to have the courage to go and relaunch a project yenye alilaunch, inakuonyesha vizuri the locals, it's either walipewa inaitwa aje dawa ya kusahau kila kitu because it's common sense. Nimekuona hapo ukilaunch hii barabara, if I see you there I have a mandate to ask you, kwani ile ingine ilifanyika nini?
Yes.
But umeona not once, not twice, on several occasions the president doing that. Because I don't know what we need to do as Kenyans. Tuache hiyo tabia ya umekuwa hapa leo I forget about your existence until the next time we meet. You are doing the same. Asijui ni nguo ufurahisha wa Kenya ama what happened?
Yeah.
Ama what happens?
It's like we forget too much. Okay, Melchizedek, toa maoni yako. I also nitamaliza in a few minutes kushatoa maoni yako because
Yeah, I
I
think
have
hata
another
sijamsikiza then I'll be leaving. Okay.
Okay, sawa.
Okay, hata mimi time yangu imeisha. Nilikuwa na ngoja umalize niende. Anyway, wacha niseme kidogo then tuache. Weenda ulale. Najua ni time mbaya. Regarding this, I want to tell you a little story. Murara, whether alikuwa the secretarial or whatever, the Ruto's campaign, mimi pia nilikuwa kwa campaign ya wakina Wanga na huyu muizi alikuwa anaitwa nani? Kidero.
Okay.
So I just want to give you the real story about it. It's something that we were involved, and I was I was giving the public addressing system for the campaign, so I was there all the time. I realized these people, these politicians, if you are not careful or if you are not that person that who is very brilliant, then you can be killed with no minute. That's the first thing. The second thing, hao watu wanashindanga before election. Wacha ni wakushangaze. They won before the election. Wanga alishinda 2 days before the sukura itangazwe. And I can bear that witness. Ilifika usiku saa 8, tulitolewa saa 9. Tuende tupeane watu pesa ya wamama wale ambao walikuwa bado wajui nini. Ilikuwa ishapangwa, kura tayari ishashinda. So by the time these things are happening, hata Marara mwenyewe alijua vizuri Ruto alishinda before kila kitu ifanyike. So tutaki tudanganyane mbele ya watu. This is the reality. Kama ushakuwa hapo ndani, umejua vitu zenye zinaendelea. So awache kudream about kukuwa president when is there seeing what was happening. Alisema vizuri, hata pesa yenye walipewa watu wengine walienda nayo kwa mustuni. Kama sisi pia tulikuwa tunangoja pesa. Sasa singekuwa nafanya kazi. Sasa ningekuwa country government, hata mimi nakaa hapo natulia na kazi yangu. Nini ilitolewa kwa mkono yetu hivi, watu wengine wakaenda, na hata speaker yangu moja ilipotea, sijapata mpaka leo, the next day. So the only thing that will help us in Kenya, let us not forget that much easier, because right now kila mtu amesha forget kwamba Ruto alikuwa ameua watu 202 2012 whatever. Sahii watu walimpigia kura, hiyo ilikuwa ya pili. Sahii watu wanasema Ruto must go. Ikifika wakati ya kupiga kura, wajinga wengine na watu wengine watasimama wapange laini, wao pia waweke kura yao. By the time uweka kura yako moja, familia yako yote washapiga kura kama ujui. Hiyo ni secret. Nikienda kama mimi nimepiga kura, nimeweka hivi, jina yangu ni, the last name is Odhiambo. Very nice. All Odhiambos already washapiga kura, wamekauntiwa 20s. Odhiambo 20 Odhiambos, na wewe bado unasema ati mimi nimepiga kura yangu ni haki yangu. Kuna kitu kama hiyo. Sasa ujue ya kwamba ukienda kupiga kura wewe ni Odhiambo, kuna Otieno 20 washapiga kura. Ndiyo saa hii walisema mpaka nini ina expire, Mimi yangu haita expire ID yangu ya Kenya. Kama ni hiyo, wacha nikae bila ID. Siwezi chukua ID yenye gini nchi yetu ambayo sijawahi isikia. Hata penye nafanya kazi tuna renew contract, tu renew ID. Sasa nikisikia Kenya iko na expiry date, hiyo ni kitu ambayo ninawaambia tu. When Morara want to do what he want to do, as akuwe strict on what he was doing. He was doing a very good job exposing and doing that civil education. Let him do, and people knows that Kenya ni mbaya. But kama anataka kukua president, aende alale kidogo, amuke 2027. Kama watu washapiga kura, Ruto ashakuwa president kama anataka kushindana na yeye. And that's how I go.
Asante. All right, guys. Thank you so much, kila mtu kuingia. This is the first session. Taingia tena in the evening in like 4 hours time. So stay tuned. Thank you so much, Mabri, for breaking the news about Morara. And also Melchizedek for joining us na kutupatia ninio about vitu zinafanyika Gladys Wanga na Kidero. And also in the comment section, WS Banker, karibu sana. Stay tuned, tafadhali. Make sure you subscribe na mweke notification on so when I come in 4 hours time, utapata notification iko on na unaingia na pia uchangilie. It will be more interactive as usual. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, depending on how many people are here. So thank you so much. WS Banker, thank you. Gypsy Corner, I'll be waiting for your email and I will nisikie, alafu nitajaribu kupigia huyo governor pia. I'm trying, I got the number, nitampigia niangalia nasema nini and I'll try to record it. Yes. Now, everyone else who was here, tafadhali. Maris, thank you so much for joining. DJ Moda, of course, alikuwa hapa. I will see you guys in 4 hours for another session. Tutaongea mambo ya Gachagua na mambo mengine, and na hii kesi ya Morara vile it's unfolding. We'll be here. Vile nani anasema, Pep Guardiola. I'll be there. We'll be here for it, okay? So thank you so much. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Do all the good stuff, and I'll see you in 4 hours. Stay tuned. Thank you. Peace and blessings.